Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Shadow Hearts Covenant. Last time we finished our business at the Wine Cellar, saved the kids, put the mayor and his goons in their place. Now we can set sail. Mayor arranged everything, now we can set sail anytime. Let the first mate know when ready. Alright, so let's talk to you. Can't wait to get out there to sea. So, I can't go? No, there's actually a number of things that either you're supposed to do or you're able to do before jumping on that ship and heading to the UK. First things first, let's check on the kids that we saved. Why not? Let's go see how they're doing. You've been waiting for us, have you? Mayor came by and apologized. Promised to leave the shop alone from now on. Well, maybe it'll work this time. Think about the business. Yeah, you look so glad in your pale, boring, completely emotionless face. Yeah, for whatever reason, like, I guess it's a matter of the technology involved at the time. But when they change camera angles and they focus on faces, whether in non-voiced or voice cutscenes, and you don't notice a lot of difference in the face, it's kind of off-putting, especially in the voice scenes where you get a lot of emotion in the voices, and you don't see that in the scene. And that's not something that's unique to Shadow Hearts Covenant. That's just something I've noted as I've played other games over the last little while. Yeah, we got our ship. Everything's good. Praying for safe travel. Stop by if you're ever this way again. Joachim, the children, and I would love to see you again. Well, that's great. Now what? You are! And of course that's news to everyone because he said nothing. Want to travel and build up my skills. Who knows? Maybe I'll run into teacher along the way. Sigh. Moving on. Really sure you want to come along? Not like I have to worry about, you know, you being safe, you with your... Did I mention this? It's been like a week since I recorded because I got inundated with work all of a sudden after having not worked through, I don't know, like the last 4 months. Everything hit all at the same time. Did I mention in battle he has 40 SP, which is the same amount that Keith, his brother, had in the previous game? Yeah, so he's a vampire. I'm not sure if he's immortal, but he's going to live a hell of a long time. High amount of sanity. I'm not worried about him based on the fact that he's built like a tank. You know, I have no gripes that he's going to get hurt along the way. Anyway, let's move on here. We were left for dead by the side of the road. Now, that's an interesting story. Does somebody want to explain how that happened? Who left you by the side of the road in such a condition? The game doesn't mention it. At least as far as I remember. It could be in flavor text somewhere that I missed, but as far as I remember, they don't ever clarify how he ended up like that. At least with Orin, you know, he was found almost dead in Final Fantasy X by the side of the road. Kamari finds him, and they actually explain how and why that happened if you play through the entire story. But, so you already know that he's a bat. I remember when you were just a dying bat. Turned out fine. Off with you. Show me how strong you become. Alrighty then, will do. It won't be any fun, you know. Okay, if Yuri can't figure it out, considering they've given us the ability to look into, like, his profile page, figure out that, oh, right, he has the same last name as a character from the previous game, he looks like someone that he met in the previous game, Yuri should already know. But Yuri's an idiot. So, we let that slide. Maybe I'll tell you someday. If you really need someone to tell you, Yuri, I'm sorry, but you're not qualified to be the main character of this game. Now, I've kind of talked about this in comments with some of you guys as you were commenting during the first week's worth of videos, but Karen is quote-unquote the main character. She starts out being the main character, she's on the box art, but as soon as you get Yuri, he becomes the playable character model on screen as you run around, and it really kind of devolves into another of Yuri's stories more so than Karen's story. And it didn't have to do it this way, but it kind of does. It's a little weird. It's about, I think, how they directed it, because the story does involve both of them a lot. But I'm not going to get too far into that because I don't want to spoil things. Nice pose there, buddy. What exactly is that? What pose is that supposed to be? I get very distracted in this game. As you can really obviously tell, I've jumped through like 4 different stories in this conversation. Oh, the distractions are back. This is for all of you. Solomon's Key. Selecting Solomon's Key from the second page of the command menu displays an old map in a book entitled King Solomon's Key. Place the crest in the correct positions within each region to release the crest power and add to the crest magic you can use. This is extremely valuable. Did some digging on my own, you see, and that's when I found the book. So, where did you do that digging, Grandma? I had to find out what wisdom. She already knew what the treasure was. Wish it were something more valuable. This is extremely valuable, as you will see before too long. Now, what's up with this book? One of the Lost Great Black Books. Book contains a map of where the 72 demons that were controlled by King Solomon lived. Now, most of these demons are also the names of the crests that we have been carrying around with us, the ones that allow us to cast magic. Yeah, those things you have absolutely no use for because you're not smart enough to remember spells. Now the thing is, I'd probably be too stupid to remember spells. I can't remember what I did the day before last, so... don't have to pout. He's a big baby. Aww. Shut up. Yuri's hilarious. Okay, let's see. We got more important information here. Say if we place the demons that dwell in the crest properly, we can unleash great magical power, which is indeed true. We just need to place them on their old map. How do we know? Maybe we could guess based on each demon's preferences and characteristics. Or you could do it the smart way and just read it off a guide. That's how I recommend you doing it because it's going to be tedious to try and figure out otherwise. And I don't know if I did this at all in my first playthrough way back when. I think I don't remember finishing all the side quests, or like beating super bosses this time around. In the first Shadow Hearts, I remember doing pretty much everything. The first time around, none of it seemed like it was way out of, you know, something that I would have missed the first time around. But for whatever reason, when I finished this one when I was younger, I never finished everything. I just got through the main story and some side quests and called it a day. This is true treasure. Hope it'll be useful. And indeed it will. Do you say anything else? Praying for your safety. Alright, so first things first, we got the key. Second things first, well, second things first, that makes no sense. Why does my brain do this? My brain decides to do things that make no sense. Now that's the trigger you need to hit in order to move on. Let's take a quick look at that Solomon's Key. It's on the second page here. Now, you can go here to Crest List, and it'll show you the different areas. Let's see here. No. Let's zoom out a little bit so you get an idea here. Each of these indicates a different region. So this cross-looking thing here, the small little area down here, the green section here. It kind of highlights it a little bit. It's hard to tell at times. But each of these is an individual region, and if you populate all of the nodes in each region with the appropriate crests, it'll unlock new spells on each of those crests. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to Forest of Passion. And here, we actually have all the ones we need, assuming you've been following along, in order to do this. Now, they have to go in a specific order. Now, if you notice here on the bottom there, it'll tell you something information, you know, a little bit of information. It's like, okay, loves neighbor Gremory, so they must be right next to this one. Something about lakes, and so it's like, okay, enchanting seas, so it's probably going over there. It's a lot of, you know, hemming and hawing and going back and forth. It's like, this kind of makes sense, and it's tedious. Just no. I pressed down twice. Thank you. Instead of doing that, you could just grab the information off of a walkthrough, like I would recommend you do, because that's a lot faster than trying to do things the other way. And what do we got? Or yeah, so I'm just grabbing it off a walkthrough, reading it off, and then we're just going to move it from there. It's a lot easier for me than trying to read all the flavor text, and for the most part, it really doesn't matter. Most of these demons I've never heard of before, but if you do them all in their correct positions, it gives you a notification, and Cure has been added to Furor, Bright Light to Gremory, Pale Beak to Andros, Rock Rot to Zephyr, Red Rave to Citri, and Galespin to Salos. Oh, and Evil Ray to Visago. It's the only one we can complete, and I will only be coming in here once we need to complete things, because we actually get some benefit out of that. But if you don't get benefit out of, there's no real need to come back in here and post, you know, the few that we have in the right order. It's just not really worthwhile. I can't remember if I went over this last time, but we've popped Yuri out of the party because we can, and because I have a couple of level 8s. Joachim needs to get involved in the combos there, so he can build up more combos. And Blanca has a number of one-on-one fights, aka the wolf bouts, throughout the game. So I'm going to try and keep him around in the party more often than not, so that he is never behind on levels. That way he'll have an easier time at things. Now that we've done that, let us return to the Wine Cellar. Unlike the first Shadow Hearts, you can go back and go into a lot of areas pretty much throughout the whole game. They lock you out of a couple of spots here and there, but it's not too bad. Now, that's going to send me straight there, so I'm going the wrong way. Now, I probably shouldn't bother to show this at all, just because we're going through the same area that we've already been through. Okay, we're back. I just did the rest of the progress all the way back to the end, off screen there, because we don't really need to see that. We have another wolf here. Make sure you're equipped with best weapon, cloak. Pocket watch would be highly recommended here. And then just make sure Blanca has full HP and preferably some MP. Your best bet's going to be to use a spell. Actually, do I have that crest? I do. Oh yeah, so when we added crests, there is a new feature here. Let's remove a few things and show those on, and we'll kind of demonstrate here. So this crest used to just have Mirage on it. Now it has Hellbeak as well. Now, if you check up here, this is a level 3 crest. This one has just Hailbeak on it. Now, what happens when you upgrade them is they gain new spells, but their level doesn't go up, so they don't consume any more dominance capacity. So we can get the same spell for only a level 2 hit to our dominance capacity here, as opposed to level 3 before. However, there is an added benefit here, and that's if you equip the same spell on the same person twice, then they get access. Basically, it just cuts the MP cost in half. I don't believe it has any effect on the amount of damage it does. I haven't been able to find any information that suggests that anywhere, but it's at least worth mentioning there. All right, so we've got everything set up here. It would be preferable to have Hailbeak on, or a water elemental spell, and I think that's the only one we have at this point on Blanca here. And let us approach Doggy with Hat. Wait a minute. That hat looks familiar. That hat looks familiar. I'm sure I've played one of those games for 5 minutes. I'm not very familiar with Terry Bogard or any of the games that he's in, to be quite honest. I'm just familiar with enough with who he is to go, it kind of looks familiar, and that's about it. So make your own jokes in the comments if you know more about it and are interested. Travel the world looking for strong wolves. Call you hungry. Okay. Sure, why not?
Time for you to get a taste of my legendary skill. Sure you can handle it? You're raring to go, aren't you? I've got plenty of that myself.
Yeah, a single line for each one, and that's it. Now, here we're dealing with Kelly, who is Fire Elemental, hence why Hailbeak, and 180 HP, can inflict Fast Ring on you, so you don't really want to get stuck doing that. And I really got to find a way of getting all my stuff on one monitor. Because basically, the way I have it now, I've got my notes, my map, my OBS window, and I've got like a little tiny bit of space for the actual like online walkthroughs from GameFAQs, and it doesn't really work very well that way. So yeah, this is only going to cost us 8 MP this way, and we're just going to go straight for that. There's no benefit for getting a perfect here as far as items go. I think it's experience or something. Doesn't matter. I don't care. So yeah, Fast Ring. Protect us against that, so we don't get hit with that, and we're good to go. And hit one more time. So it should be one more hit to the finish, and that's it for the wolf bout. Oh, we got the perfect victory anyway. Normal attacks can miss, spells cannot. So yeah, you get a little bit, okay, you got some extra money. More importantly, you get a strike expand and a seal of luck for this fight. Now, the seals do make a return in this game, just like they did in the first game.
No way! My fangs failed me! You got a little overzealous. You've got to keep your cool if you want to win.
Do ya now? They said, I've only fought one wolf boat up until now. You earned it. After each one of these, usually Soul Comet will go up in power. The unique thing about Soul Comet here... Okay then. Will ya now? Good for you. The unique thing about Soul Comet is if we go to Personal Blanca, it got powered up. Earlier, it was only a single hit. Now it's 2 hits. This is going to continue to get additional hits over the course of the game, and the amount of MP cost will not go up. So the longer we play the game and the more of these we do, the better Soul Comet becomes. Now, there are 3 other skills that he gets access to over the course of the game, and they're all pretty useful, to be quite honest, but this is the one you'll see upgraded the most. The other ones are all just either healing or buffs or something like that, but they're useful ones, so we'll definitely want to get access to all of those too. So I'm going to swap the crest back here. But one of the interesting things about having the spells kind of set up this way is even weak crests that have only, say, an edge on it that we don't really want to use, they might end up being useful once they get a little bit of a level up. So here, Salos only had Gale before. Now it has Gale Spin. Now you also have another Gale Spin. Now I could have Gale Spin on 2 different people, or I could reduce the MP cost so that it's much more viable to traverse longer dungeons with the character casting the spell in pretty much every battle and having no real downside to this. So here we got Aqua Edge on that. Sure, you can keep that. I don't really care. But we're going to give you back your Ale stuff here. What else is on this that I haven't equipped anywhere? Oh, it's just the Air Edge. Well, that can go over to here. And so yeah, I've got 2 Rock Rots now. There's an additional Evil Ray that's popped up on this one that only had Surge before. And this one is a light-based one. It had Barrier, now it's got Bright Light, which is the light-based attack. And let's see, you've got Red Rave, Heat Edge. So yeah, this popped on to Rage, which is nice. This crest here is kind of useless. I probably haven't shown exactly all of these off. We got this one. I think this one was from the lottery, if I remember correctly. Heal restores status, and Holy Edge is Holy Edge. None of these we're really going to use all that much. I'll put the map on screen and I'll backtrack to the very first room on the left-hand side there, and I will see you there in a moment. Okay, so this is the first room on the left, and then through the door into the second room behind it, and there is now a guy here. I don't know why there is a guy here, but there's a guy here. He's got a new business. Give it a whirl. Sure, why not? Brand new business. Call it Lucky Chests. You've played Super Mario Brothers 3. You've played this before. Pick out 2 of the 8 treasure chests lined up, and if they have the same item, you get it. It's a memory matching little mini game. It's pretty straightforward. You'll probably do it 2 or 3 times and you'll get it. It all comes down to luck at least once, so. Hardly costs anything to play. Only 100 cash, which is cheap enough for what you get out of this, so I wouldn't even worry about the amount of money you're going to spend. You got a Thera-Leaf. There are 4 of those, 2 Mono-Leaves, and 2 Pure Leaves. Okay, so we got Thera and Mana on either end. There's Mana. And there's Mana. And there's Thera. And there's Thera. And so we only have 1, like, we can't fail again. So there's Thera. So it's not quite 50-50. 1 and 3. That was pure. And we lose. So yeah, basically, that's the whole process. You just spam through it, pay 100 G again, try again, and hopefully you know, match something by accident somewhere along the line. So there's Thera. That's good. Oh god, that's not good. Nope. Well, another crapshoot. Not really much I could have done with that one. Yeah, the game's not difficult. It's just a matter of you need to get lucky. Got man up there again. Thera. There's a Thera. There's a Thera. There's a Thera. Well, I'm not getting very lucky right now. If this takes too long, I'll cut it out. But it shouldn't really take you all that long. In my test run, it only took me, I think, 3 attempts. So I'm already behind that. Oh, there's a first round Thera. There's another Thera. That's not particularly good. Okay then. Got mana. And, well, I didn't need any on that one. See what I mean by it all comes down to luck? So yeah, we successfully did that, and you open them all out, I'm going to put you out of business. For doing that, you get what would normally be the second stud card that you get. Speaking of stud cards, I never went into the menu to show you, did I? Oddly enough, the items section here just gives you access to your consumable items. If you want to look at other items, you need to go second page of your menu and go to inventory. There you can look at all your crests and learn things about those, go into some details about more information about that. You could sort them if you care. Your items are here as well. Key items, weapons, armor, accessories, ring items. In the key items. So yeah, stud card. Yup. Exactly what it sounds like. 200 push-ups. Yeah, good luck with that. I don't care how jacked you are. You're not doing that much. Your pecs will give out on you if you try and kill it like that. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, the stud cards for the dressmaker are kind of what you might expect based on his over-accentuated personality. They are just cards of, well, basically I guess you would call them pinups, right? Especially around this time. So yeah, they're pinups. Learn some more stuff about Wagner's opera here. Holy Mistletoe. Power to exorcise demons. Yeah, well, the problem is we want those demons, especially in Yuri's case. Gift from the father. So you used to be a shining blue stone, but after the Holy Mistletoe curse, it now glows with a sinister crimson. I had talked about that in the cutscenes early on as well. Here's our point card. Solomon's Key, which is just a scroll there. Battery. Fuse. The butterfly clip. I can show that off, I guess, too, while we're here. We get to keep that. If we go into Joachim's menu here, his personal menu after doing the fight against Veronica last time, we see that Joachim's is now active. And basically what this is you see the lines on the screen, you note at the bottom, will change into golden bat form after 6 more battles. Now, he has 3 different forms in addition to just normal Joachim. He has an invisible form where he takes, he has higher evasion and is, I think, less likely to be targeted, maybe, by physical attacks from the enemies. He has his golden bat form where his HP gets cut in half, but his attack power doubles, so he becomes a glass cannon. I've seen people hate on this. It's really good. It really is. You can burn through like really difficult fights just by having him able to deal that much damage. It is fantastic. And then when the 2 overlap, you get the ability to turn into Grand Papillon. And there his stats are all just increased. I'm not sure what the percentage is, but it's high. He becomes really, really good. Anything else in here? Well, he's started to work on getting affinity with people. He's kind of behind everybody else at this point. That's the problem with the affinity system in this game, is the way it's set up, unfortunately, means that the later characters you get are going to have to start from scratch when it comes to affinity. Now, there are certain situations, like Karen and Yuri had a default of, what, 10 affinity between each other at the start, basically due to plot reasons, but that's not super common. And I think it only happens one more time. But anyway, so we got that. We will take note of this place because we will come back here and get some more items from this guy later on. But yeah, that's pretty much all the time we have for this one. Next time, we will actually be able to leave on the boat and head to the UK. Anyway, that's all for this one. I'll see you guys next time.